Hello, my name is Ilona. I'm just going to take a look at the general energy where we're at because there's so much going on. We have the Maxwell case in America. You know that the dark elite are going to try to avoid saying anything about it. They will make sure nothing will get out in the media or just minimal. They will throw out false flags. They're trying to distract people from that because there's a lot of information which is very important, especially concerning the children and what has happened to them and what is happening or has been happening all around the world. It will come out. So they try to avoid everything. There are a lot of people with connections, politicians, Hollywood stars, all connected to that case. So that's a very, very important case. I think I am going to take a look at what will come out from that case. This is the Eight of Pentacles. This is the Four of Cups. It's the central card. Card in the past is the Two of Cups. This is the Queen of Wands underneath the central card, and this is the Future card. That's the Death card. So this is the end of everything concerning what's going on with the children, what has been going on. I truly believe that it will all come out, how awful that is, the things that have happened. It will be a shock to people. I do believe a lot of people will not believe it. They will have a tough time dealing with it. So there will be, I think in stages it will come out what's going on. But I do believe that this will be very, very important for just humanity as a whole to figure out what has happened, what's been going on. It needs to come out. It cannot be, how do you say that, put under some kind of blanket. We can't put it away anymore. It needs to come out. It needs to be healed. So that's very, very important. Of course, the white hat influence, even though the judge, I think, is, well, more like dark elite. I believe there are connections there. There is a lot of things going on there. So I do believe that that will be important as well. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they will, things are going to happen in the near future, although I'm not sure when, but in the coming months, things will change. So I do believe a lot of corruption among judges will come out as well. Wouldn't surprise me at all if that's connected to this case as well. Because it's very strange that they've picked like this judge that's very connected to all the dark players. So I do believe that's done on purpose. I do believe that the White Hats purposely did that. And there are a lot of things going on. The Death card is that this will be the end of that part and things will come out. And we will, as humanity, go in a completely different direction. And it's necessary. We can't walk away from that. We can't just not want to see it, just quickly move to 5D. We can't without facing this, without dealing with this. This is part of our history as well, part of what's been happening until now. I do believe they've taken care of a lot of these operations that have been going on around the world, but now it will come out, the information will come out. And I do believe even we have a case in the Netherlands as well with a certain person. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say his name because he's very high up. He was very high up in the Ministry of Justice. So a lot of, how do you say that, they've been just shuffling along. They've just been distracting, taking care of people that were speaking out. They've removed witnesses, things like that. So they've made sure that nothing would get out. And I do believe there are actually people in prison now because of that case. And I do believe that in the Netherlands, things will come out about that as well, because it's necessary that things are coming out about children, about what is happening, about all these awful people that have been doing awful things to the children. Things need to get out, and they will. They won't be able to suppress this anymore. It's done for them. So that's, I truly believe that it's so necessary for us to heal as a humanity, that we need to face that. We need to face in the Netherlands, in Europe, it's been everywhere around the world, but I do believe that the Maxwell case will be like the first to open up, and then the other cases will follow as well, because there are so many cases about that. It's just horrendous. We also have I've had questions about what's going on in Spain. I've got some mixed messages, like some people living there, some parts there are restrictions, in other parts it's been lifted. It's a bit a mixed bag there. So I'm just going to take a look. The energy of Spain now. That's the Four of Pentacles. That's the card above. The World. That's the central card. This is the card in the past, the Page of Swords. This is the card underneath the central card. That is the Five of Cups. And the Knight of Wands. Well, that to me is talking about the White Hat. So I do believe that they are going to take over, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if most of Spain, at least there's like a shadow government. I truly believe that everywhere in Europe, at least, and probably around the world, there are like these shadow governments actually taken over. And we are still looking at all these remnants of the dark elite and all these. It has to collapse, but they have to take their time in that things have to be put in place. Just like I said, things underneath the ground they need to take care of that before they can go above ground and take care of the puppets there. So this is, so to speak, a movie, but like I said, I don't really like that image very much, because to me, a lot of people are in a difficult situation. So I've said before, my heart goes out to them. And the World is that things are falling into place. So even though there are still a lot of things going on in Spain, I truly believe that another energy is flowing in. There's still some strictness. I do believe that it's necessary, because things need to be taken care of. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we are heading as just globally to this scare event, so the military can step in. I do believe and I do feel that. How they're going to do that, I'm not sure. And it may be that everything is already done, and then they will come out and tell us about it. I'm not sure how they're going to do that, because, well, like I said, they're not going to call me. So I just kind of feel that things are going to happen. When it's going to happen, I can't tell. To me, it can happen any day now, but it can take a little while as well, because I don't know what they've come across underneath, what's going on above, because there's also this financial system that needs to be put into place. A lot of things are going on there as well. So for Spain, it will still feel restricted. There will be restriction, and I do believe if the military will step up, that people will be put in stricter, rules. I'm not sure if I can say the word, but I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. Starts with an L and it ends with ak. You can put that together and then put down after that. So there is good news, but still there's still some sadness and things moving. So I do believe even in Spain, there's still some cleaning up. I don't know, there's still some things that need to be healed. And the messages I got that the Spanish people are still very following the rules, especially concerning this. They just walk around with it. There's still a lot of this compliance, and that needs to be healed as well. And I do believe underneath Spain, I'm sure there's a lot of things being done there as well that needs to be healed. There is so much pain and sadness going on around, but the White Hats, they are in control, and certainly in the future they will bring in a completely new energy, a new way of looking at things. So Spain is, I truly believe there is already a shadow government there from the White Hats who are taking care of things in the background, and it's really waiting till that changes. So I do believe that Spain will be free and will be in a completely different energy. And I cannot say like within a year at least, probably sooner. But like I said, it's very difficult with dates when things are going to happening. But I truly believe that things are already happening. There's so much going on. There is also in Guadeloupe, apparently the Minister for Overseas, Sébastien Lecornu, wants to give them back their independence. They're talking about that because they are, well, speaking up against the mandate for health workers. So there's a lot going on. They even sent a French elite there, to Guadeloupe to get them back in order. It's not working, obviously. And this is going on around the world. We are liberating ourselves. People are speaking up. People are refusing to comply. It's in a way beautiful to see, but it's necessary. We need to stop complying. We need to stand for ourselves, what we accept, what we don't accept. In the Netherlands, we now have these things for children at school, which is horrendous. So I think middle school, it's just horrendous. And I see people and parents actually taking action, refusing that that's happening to their children, because ultimately there's not really a law for that. These are just rules, and it's up to the school what they're going to do with it. So I truly hope that people will take a stand in that and protect their children. Some people are even taking their children off the schools. So much going on right now, and I think it's important, if it's possible for you to take care and homeschool your children, please do. So I do believe that it could get a little messy along the way. I don't think it's going to last very long, but we are really at this point where the dark, they know they've lost, and now they're going to just throw out everything they've got. So I'm just going to take a look at where they're at. I think that's probably a good energy right now, what they have in mind. What have the Black Hats in mind now? See where they stand. They've got the 5 wands. They've got the Queen of Wands. That's interesting. That's their central card. They have the 4 of Cups in the past. They've got the Knight of Wands underneath. And they have the 6 of Pentacles for their future. Well, this isn't looking great. These are cards that to me resemble the White Hats. So the White Hats pretty much taking over probably maybe even 80, maybe even 90% of what the Dark Hats had under control. They've completely lost it. And they're fighting among themselves. I do believe that the White Hats already taken care of a lot of people. I mean, at the top, so at the top of the hierarchy. So we're still seeing the puppets, of course, in our governments and politicians and all kinds of people that are still there. Although you don't know if that's the actual person or not, but I'll just leave it at that. We're just looking at puppets anyway. And they're fighting among each other because they don't have any direction. They don't have a true direction. And this is also for just distracting. I do believe that the only thing they still have is distraction, because they've lost so much power and control. I truly believe that the White Hats pretty much taken over everything they've had. They don't have a lot anymore. They don't have money anymore either. That's going to fall away. And then they don't have anything to finance all their all their operations or all their things that they have going. If you don't, how do you say that, pay the people that work for you, these are not the most loyal people, let's face it. They usually have people working for them who are very opportunistic, mostly with psychopathic tendencies, and they just want what they can get. And if they're not getting anything anymore, their loyalty is gone. So I do believe at the lower, that's what I'm talking about, the lower levels, people are kind of walking away from this as well, because there's nothing there anymore. There's no money. They don't have anything to offer anymore. So there's a lot of infighting among, I think, whatever is left. I don't think they have any direction anymore, and they're just distracting, because really that's the only thing they have left. Maybe they have some people that can still, they are controlled with their minds. They can still let them do certain false flags, but that's about it. They are, to me, they don't have control over big weapons anymore, or things they can really use against the White Hats. They've pretty much lost it. They're pretty much gone. That's what I'm sensing. Their power is completely fading, which is a good sign. They can still be dangerous, but very local level, and it's not the threat they were. That threat is pretty much gone. They don't have the capacity anymore to take over the world. They do not have the capacity to do all kinds of harms on a global level. I truly don't believe that they control the military. A lot of people still think that we're in this, you have these timelines, and that we're in the dark timeline, that the military is actually going to work against us. That's not the timeline I'm on. If you want to be on that timeline, please feel free to choose that timeline. Timeline I'm on is the Whitehead timeline, and they've pretty much taken over everything. So even if they are, how to say that, I believe in the Netherlands, they're going to use military personnel to help out with the wasp stings. I actually believe that that's a good thing. I don't think they're going to actually inject with what's in that anymore. But I do not recommend getting anything. Don't. Just stay away from the wasp sting. Stay away from testing. Just stay away from that. But I see this as a positive thing. I see the military getting involved as a positive thing here in the Netherlands, and I believe all around the world where they're being used, I see them as how do you say that, they're getting in the place where they need to be to take over things. So I want to leave it at that, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.